If Joe Rogan decided to run for president in 2028 as a Republican, he would win. Let me tell you why. Rogan is in the top 5 most powerful Americans. I'd go as far to say that as far as power and influence is concerned in America, I'd put Donald Trump first, Elon Musk second, and then I'd put Joe Rogan third. If he ran for president in 2028 as a Republican, you have Republicans that no matter what will always vote for a Republican. He would automatically get those votes. Then the independents. When Rogan finally endorsed Trump, a lot of people believed that endorsement put Trump over the finish line because it took all the independents and people, young people that weren't going to vote and people who usually don't vote. It got them involved and it got them to vote for Donald Trump. So he already has that audience. You know, when you see shows like The View, remember one thing. Rogan was a Democrat for years, an open Democrat. He never hided it. He always said, I'm a Democrat. I don't like Donald Trump. RFK was a Democrat. Tulsi Gabbard was a Democrat. They cannot take the insanity anymore. They just can't take it. So instead of Democrats and shows like The View doing some self-reflection, how they lost, what do? They attack and insult everybody and anyone that left the party or doesn't agree with them. Do you really, I want shows like The View to keep attacking Rogan because it will only make him more vocal, if they keep attacking him. I love it. I love that they keep going after Rogan because if they did their research, Joe Rogan has been a Democrat, liberal for years. I mean, he's 53 years old. His whole life he's been a Democrat and he just can't take it anymore. So the criticism of Rogan is unwarranted by them. There's a reason why he left the party. He loved California, his home state. He would have never have left in a million years. But between the policies, the crime, and all the other nonsense, where does Rogan reside now? Texas. And you know why he resides in Texas? Because of liberal insanity. That's why. So this whole notion that The View now is going to attack him and they think it's going to help them, it's not going to help them at all. I really hope that all these liberal news stations that call everyone racist, sexist, misogynist, homophobic, every name you could think of, because as soon as you don't go along with what they say or believe, you get called all those names, and it's only hurting the Democratic Party. After what Democrats have done to Donald Trump, I would never vote for another Democrat ever under any circumstance. I don't care if they gave me $200,000 a year cash, a new home, a new car every year for the rest of my life. I would never vote for a Democrat ever again the rest of my life. They weaponized the justice system to go after a political opponent. They went after Trump's family. They said his finances weren't worth what they were. They coordinated Atlanta, New York, Chris Wray, the FBI, the CIA, the entire justice system, the DOJ, coordinated to have Donald Trump locked up in prison for the rest of his life. If he loses that election, Donald Trump would have went to prison for the rest of his life. So no amount of anything could ever make me vote for a Democrat again. And I really hope that Joe Rogan runs for president. I do. Joe Rogan has said he was a Bernie bro, which I never understood. Bernie Sanders, I seen Bernie Sanders on the Senate floor supporting a critical race theory book. I want you to picture this. There's a book that they were having kindergartners being read. The teachers were reading this to kindergartners. So I want you to get a picture in your mind. Picture your kindergartner. He's white, Caucasianoid. He's got his lunchbox. He's all excited. He's going to go to school, meet some friends. He's super book bag on, ready to go to school. And you have somebody like Bernie Sanders and the education system that feels that they need to read your 5th grader or 5-year-old a book that tells him or her, because your skin is white, you're bad. Because your skin is white, you're evil. Because your skin is white, you're privileged. This is the type of garbage that Bernie Sanders supports. And Joe Rogan, before he gets on his show, he needs to really do some research into the Democrats that he used to support. Because just that alone, hey, you could, if you're an adult and you want to feel a certain way about other adults, about their gender, that's your business. You're adults. We're adults. Somebody doesn't like you. Somebody's racist towards me. I could care less. I don't care. Doesn't bother me. But leave people's kids alone. Leave children alone. Whether it's the war on children with the sexual mutilation, telling them that they could switch their genders, or, telling them that a certain skin color makes them bad. Stay the F away from people's kids. Let's jump into this video with Joe Rogan where the View's attacking him.
Joe Rogan, who is a dragon believer.
Yeah. But I think that's why people like our show, because they know that we are checked by ABC News. But
we're checked by everybody.
Yeah. I mean, if we're wrong, we have, the legal note here.
Mm-hmm.
Another lie. Sunny Houston was told by Matt Gaetz' attorneys, if you say that again, we're going to sue you. So ABC, the executives, had Sunny Houston read an apology letter saying that those charges weren't true. And for Joe Bain here to get on here and say, The View always tells the truth, that's why people love your show, give me a friggin' break. She's absolutely disgusting. Whoopi Goldberg is disgusting. She's disgusting. And the biggest racist on the planet, Sunny Houston, is sitting right next to her.
Human legal. We went from Walter Cronkite, basically, to this guy, Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He believes in dragons? He believes in dragons.
Did you triple force that?
Yes, I did.
In response to the bizarre claim, Joe Rogan trolled the host, posting on X, "This is my new official X description," with a link to the video. He then also changed his description to dragon believer. The internet went into meltdown about the hilarious interaction. This commentator said, "This clip is unhinged. Joe Bahar is saying that Joe Rogan believes in dragons and you should listen to The View because they are truthful and fact-checked by the ABC." The View's latest dig at Joe Rogan comes after he exposed the declining viewership of mainstream media, particularly during this election cycle.
Jail and prison. Leftist viewers deal NBC, CNN, a Trump slump ratings crash. Here's why. So what's the numbers? What does it say? Does it say? The Rachel Maddow Show, for example, easily MSNBC's top-rated program, though it only airs once a week, drew just 1.3 million viewers on November 10th. 5 days after the election, a drop of 1 million viewers from the month before.
This strange comment comes after a hellish week for The View, where Sunny Houston was forced to read a legal notice not once but twice after airing unproven claims about Matt Gaetz.
Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations.
She's such a disgusting human being. You could see the hate in her eyes and in her face. This place.
Calling the claims, quote, invented, and saying in a statement to ABC News that this false smear following a 3-year criminal investigation should be viewed with great skepticism. That DOJ investigation was closed with no charges being brought.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, okay.
And again.
Sorry, I have a legal note. Matt Gaetz has long denied all allegations and has not been charged with any crime. Gates previously dismissed allegations that he paid for sex, saying that, quote, someone is trying to recategorize my generosity to ex-girlfriends as something more untoward. Another legal note, Pete Hegseth's lawyer said he paid the woman in 2023 to head off the threat of a baseless lawsuit. He has denied any wrongdoing.
Just call the show Legal Note from now on.
You know what's funny about these three hags? They got no problem with Hunter Biden, a known sex trafficker who sleeps with his dead brother's wife. And on his computer, it's a known fact that there was underage females. But of course, they don't have a problem with him. They won't ever even mention that. Oh, and Joe Biden, who they claim is such a decent man. You saw what his daughter wrote in her diary about him taking showers with her until she was 21 years of age. And as a child, she felt uncomfortable going to his friend's house because she felt they both sexualized her. Those are her words, not mine.
Sunny Hostin has been mocked this week for the forced apology. This commentator said Sunny Hostin had to read another correction on air for false claims she's made against Matt Gaetz and Pete Hegseth.
She's one of the most disgusting
you know what would be
people on
easier?
TV.
Firing her and cancelling The View. And Whoopi Goldberg also attracted controversy when she played the victim after a cafe misunderstanding.
The bitter banshees over at The View, Brad, I know it's one of your favourite TV shows, have had another shocking week. This time Whoopi Goldberg has been caught out after she claimed a Staten Island bakery refused to serve her because of her left-wing views. But in fact, it turns out they couldn't serve her or any other customer because their oven had broken down.
Rather than commit to something they couldn't guarantee, they say we can't do it. And the person who besmirched and defamed them took that as an insult to her. Well, get over it. This family will be here for, God willing, another 145 years.
Brad, do you really watch The View? And
I really didn't want to get too much into that incident with Whoopi accusing the bakery of just total garbage. Like we all know she would. She'd have to play the victim somehow, some way, because, you know, Biden and Kamala lost again. Joe Rogan, if he ran in 2028, if he would have ran against Trump in this last election, I don't think he would have won, but it would have been a closer election. If Joe Rogan runs as a Republican in 2028, I believe he would win the President of the United States in a landslide. It wouldn't even be close. Ron DeSantis, I don't think would be able to compete with him. I don't think any other Republican would be able to compete with him for the nomination. And I don't think any Democrat on the planet could beat Joe Rogan if he decided to run for president in 2028.